Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Happy Saturday. And I believe everybody is doing okay. We are on day number 96 today, and this is Naftali Ranto. The title for today is From the Throne to the Heart, Building a Legacy with God at the Center. So in 2 Samuel chapter 4 to chapter 7, we see David's leadership maturing as he prioritized justice over ambition, reverence over routine, and God's plan over his own dreams. As we rise to eradicate poverty spiritually in families, in health, and in finances, let us learn from David, a leader who built with integrity, worshipped with passion, and left a legacy anchored in God's covenant. And when we let God build our house, we become houses of purpose that influence generations. So that was just the intro, and let's go into the summary. Remember, if you are new to the Bible study, please check the first episode we had. We started in the month of January on the 17th, and we are today on day number 96. We are in the fourth month of our Bible study. Things will not get easy, but we need to focus. We should not be distracted by anything. The enemy will do all he can to take us off the path that we want to go, but let's keep praying and seeking the Lord to guide us, to inspire us, to give us the strength. Let's go and check the summary of these four chapters. The first one being 2 Samuel chapter 4, justice over vengeance. So Saul's son Ishbosheth is murdered by his own men seeking David's favor, and they bring Ishbosheth's head to David expecting a reward. And David condemns the murder, and he has the assassins executed, honoring justice and God's standard. And the lesson we learn out of that is never build your success on the downfall of others. Justice and righteousness are more important than quick gains. So let us be just in our decisions, in actions that we interact with others. And 2 Samuel chapter 5, David crowned king over all Israel. So David is anointed king over all 12 tribes of Israel at 30 years old. And he captures Jerusalem, Zion, and make it his capital, strengthening national unity. And David becomes increasingly powerful because the Lord was with him. He inquires of the Lord before going to the battle and wins major victories over the Philistines. The lesson we learn out of that is spiritual authority and national influence come from dependence on God, not just strategy or strength. So when we depend on God, he gives us spiritual authority and national influence. We'll be able to do more when we trust in the Lord. Sometimes our ego will be challenged, will be broken down. We need to humble ourselves and always seek the Lord. 2 Samuel chapter 6, bringing back the ark. David attempted to bring the ark of the covenant to Jerusalem, but Uzzah dies after touching it improperly. The ark was falling, and he tried to lay his hand on it, and because of that, he died. And David learns to fear and respect God's holiness. Remember, the ark was made to be carried by the priest and the Levites, so it was not supposed to be touched by any other person. So on the second attempt, with reverence, the ark is successfully brought in, and David dances passionately before the Lord. But Michal, his wife, mocks him, and she is barren as a result, revealing the danger of despising genuine worship. So when she looked through the window, she saw how the husband was dancing the king, and she despised him in her heart. And she did not recognize that David was doing that for the Lord. And the anger of the Lord came upon her, and she became barren until she died. And the lesson we learn out of that is true worship requires reverence and passion. Honoring God brings blessings, while dishonor blocks fruitfulness. So let us honor God and not dishonor him, because when we dishonor him, we block our own fruitfulness. We will try to do things, but it will not work because we are bringing dishonor to the name of God. So let us have reverence and honor the Lord. So in 2 Samuel chapter 7, God's covenant with David. David desires to build a house, a temple for God, but God says David's son will build it because David has shed much blood in the battle. So he said, your hands cannot build me a temple, but your sons will do that. So instead, God makes a covenant with David, promising his throne will last forever, pointing to Christ. So then God told him, you will remain on the throne forever. And that is where Christ also came from, the lineage of David, or David was part of the plan that God brought Christ into the world through. And David humbly prays in gratitude, acknowledging God's greatness and faithfulness. And the lesson we learn out of that is when you prioritize God's presence over personal ambition, He establishes your legacy beyond your lifetime. So when we put God first before we can pursue our personal ambition, the Lord will establish us our legacy beyond our lifetime. So it's not going to end when we die, but it's going to continue even beyond our lifetime. So when we are not here anymore, we will still be impacting lives with the what we have done when we were still alive, and others will be able to take that and continue moving forward. So that's why this Bible study is posted, so that it can remain on the social platforms. Even when I'm no more here, it can still inspire and help others who are going to come afterwards. So may God bless you as you are taking this very seriously, because we are in a mission and we want to eradicate poverty spiritually, in the family, in the health, and in the finances. As we have picked up, that is where majority of the people are starving. So we want to rectify that problem. So the key takeaways for you to live a life of purpose, to become the pillar in your life, in terms of spiritually, David's consistent seeking of God's guidance and honor for God's holiness brought national and personal success to him. And reverent worship is not optional. It is central to divine favor. God's promises go beyond what we imagine. His covenant unlocks generational blessings. In terms of the family loyalty and betrayal plays out in Ishbosheth's death. Not every alliance is godly. We need to be watching and pray, because not everyone who's next to us will have good intentions for us. So David's celebration before the Lord cost him respect in Michal's eyes, leading to broken intimacy. The lesson we learn out of that is prioritize unity and reverence in the home. Don't let pride rob your family of blessings. So we need to be always united and always having reverence inside of our houses. So in terms of health, Uzzah's death shows the danger of handling sacred things casually, a reminder of spiritual health protocols. David learns to balance joy and holiness. A heart that is right with God produces peace and emotional balance. Michal's bitterness leads to barrenness. Resentment can produce real spiritual and emotional consequences. So in terms of finances, David's rise to power and the prosperity of Jerusalem happened as he aligned his leadership with God's presence. And national growth followed spiritual obedience, not political schemes. Legacy, wealth, and influence are built by those who honor God first, not by shortcuts. So ladies and gentlemen, let us take the process. Many people don't like the process. They want to take shortcuts, short circuit everything. Wherever there is a shortcut, don't forget this. You are going to feel the pain wherever you are taking shortcuts in life. You need to follow the process. You need to grind. You need to pay the price. Do what you have to do, because success will not come overnight. It will have to be, you have to go through the process of shaping yourself until you are ready to handle what the Lord wants to give to you. It will be released unto you. As you can't give your child, a young 1-year-old, you can't give them 1,000 rand. So is the Lord. He cannot give us what we are not prepared or matured enough to handle in our lifetime, because He loves us. May God bless you. Have a great Saturday until we meet again tomorrow. Bye-bye.